Hey guys, Level Cap here, and today we're taking a look at some highlights from Gamescom 2019. This year's Gamescom is shaping up to be a big event for several major titles. Call of Duty, Ghost Recon, and even Minecraft are all coming out swinging with new footage and details. A multiplayer alpha for Call of Duty Modern Warfare was revealed during Gamescom opening night presentation. The alpha is open to PlayStation 4 owners starting August 23rd. It offers the game's 2v2 mode gunfight across 5 maps: Stack, King, Speedball, Docks, and Pine. And we've already seen quite a bit of gameplay on many of these maps. Stack and Pine are pretty simple maps, while King, which is set in an indoor practice range, offers a bit more variety in its design. Speedball is an outdoor practice range, and Docks looks like a mix of indoor and outdoor elements in an urban area. The alpha is only live for a few days, so be sure to get your hands on it if you can. Ghost Recon Breakpoint is shipping with a PvP mode that's borrowing some Battle Royale elements. The previous game, Wildlands, debuted just as the Battle Royale craze kicked off and was seen as a prime candidate for the genre because of the extensive engine and massive outdoor environments. Ubisoft never managed to capitalize on that potential though, instead opting for a more traditional PvP experience added post-launch. This time around though, it seems like Ubisoft is getting in on the meme. Called Ghost War, Breakpoint is a PvP 4v4 fight to the last man standing. The playable area gets smaller over time, forcing players towards each other. There will be 6 maps available at launch with 3 classes to choose from. All multiplayer progress carries over to the game's campaign as well. Breakpoint launches for all platforms on October 4th. Have you ever wanted to pee in a video game? Well, Hideo Kojima is making it happen. New gameplay of Death Stranding was revealed. It showed Norman Reedus' character Sam being woken up by the player and taking a morning whiz on a bush, which sprouted a glowing mushroom. Yeah, it's a weird game. Sam then scans the area and turns in a mission to a character played by Jeff Keighley. Turning in the mission seems to unlock a new explorable area in the game's map, which is the entire United States. A character trailer for Mama was also released that has an invisible floating ghost baby thing. You gotta watch it, man. This game is bizarre beyond all reason, and I am very intrigued. Minecraft's Windows 10 version is getting official ray tracing support thanks to a partnership with NVIDIA. Most current ray trace games only use it for 1 or 2 elements. The entirety of Minecraft's lighting and reflections will now be done with ray tracing should you choose to enable it. It'll be the second fully ray traced game following the recent remaster of Quake 2, also done by NVIDIA. Ray tracing for Minecraft's Java version has been available for some time now, but it's a shader mod that requires specific textures and an insanely powerful PC to run. Hopefully this official update is less tedious to set up and runs a bit better than the mod. It's expected to launch as a beta preview in 2020 though, so don't wait to try it out anytime soon. Cyberpunk 2077 is also shaping up to be a little on the weird side. A trailer for the game's Google Stadia release showed off some new gameplay. Highlights include drivable motorcycles, what looked like a virtual boxing match, a whip used as a melee weapon, and the player taking a bath in some weird jelly stuff that takes them to a place called the Other Side. After last year's Gamescom, nearly an hour of Cyberpunk gameplay footage was released. Hopefully the same is true for this year. Cyberpunk 2077 releases on all platforms April 16th, 2020. Gears 5 is nearly here. Microsoft released a new trailer showing off the game's Horde multiplayer mode. 4 players team up to take on waves of enemies. It's a pretty typical looking wave defense mode that Gears fans are well familiar with. That said, Gears 5 is essentially a soft reboot of the franchise with a new cast and likely new mechanics, so not everything is the same as it used to be. Gears 5 launches on Xbox and PC September 10th. A new trailer for Destiny 2's upcoming Shadowkeep expansion was released that gives us a bit more story info. Shadowkeep returns players to the Earth's moon to fight new enemies and the Vex. This is the first expansion for Destiny 2 post Bungie's breakup with Activision. It launches alongside the base game going free to play and makes changes to nearly everything. There will be new PvE and PvP areas, weapons, armor, gear, revamped armor system, and more. Many players consider Shadowkeep to be something of an overhaul for the game. Shadowkeep launches on October 1st for all platforms. The co-creators of Halo revealed their game, Disintegration. It's a sci-fi FPS in a similar vein to the open-world survival game Generation Zero. Players will pilot mech suits and command a small squad of AI allies while roaming what looks like an open-world countryside teeming with things to shoot at. It blends traditional FPS gameplay with real-time strategy in a way that seems pretty unique. It'll feature a full campaign and multiplayer. There is currently no release date for the game. While horror games often reference or take elements from the Blair Witch Project, there's never been a proper Blair Witch game. Until now. It's an FPS game with a pettable dog and some too spoopy for me gameplay. Based on the Gamescom trailer, it looks like players can expect something in a similar vein to Resident Evil 7's puzzle-based exploration, but set in a more open environment. Blair Witch releases on August 30th for Xbox and PC. The Nintendo Switch is getting some big titles. The Witcher 3, Ori and the Blind Forest, and the Hotline Miami games are all being ported to the Switch. Witcher 3 is a gorgeous game on pretty much anything, even the low-end hardware of the Switch. The port includes the base game and all the DLC content. It launches on October 15th. Ori and the Blind Forest is a hand-drawn 2D side-scroller with a strong story and slick gameplay. A sequel, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, was recently revealed. The Blind Forest Switch port releases on September 27th. Finally, both of the Hotline Miami games are now available as one collection on Nintendo's console. Despite their somewhat cartoonish visuals, they're surprisingly brutal games. In a surprise move, Sony announced the acquisition of Insomniac Games. Insomniac made a name for themselves developing some of Sony's most popular games like the Spyro franchise, Ratchet & Clank, and Resistance. Their most recent game, Marvel's Spider-Man, was a massive hit and is currently the second best-selling PlayStation 4 game ever with 13.2 million units sold worldwide. Ubisoft revealed the next operation for Rainbow Six Siege Ember Rise just before Gamescom kicked off. The test server has been updated with the Ember Rise patch. It adds two new operators, Amaru and Goyo. Amaru has a grappling hook that lets her climb windows and ledges. She's also the first operator that's going to be able to climb upwards through hatches, so there's definitely going to be a meta shift around them. Goyo's gadget is a deployable shield with an incendiary bomb strapped to the back of it. If the bomb is shot or the shield is destroyed, a small fire engulfs the surrounding area. This deals damage to enemies and friendlies, including Goyo himself. It's certainly an interesting trap, but seems like a massive risk for anyone using it for cover. Canal has also been reworked to cut down on spawn peeking, make indoor navigation more straightforward, and move some objects around. The update also includes a ton of pretty major bug fixes and balance changes. Assuming the test server build functions properly, we should see Ember Rise launch properly in the next few weeks. Tomorrow, DICE will be revealing new details for the game's next two maps, Provence and Lofoten Islands. These are close-quarter maps that cater to the game's small-scale modes like Squad Conquest and TDM. That said, details are scarce at best, so there's no telling exactly what modes will be offered on the new maps. They're expected to launch before the end of the month with the game's next major update, version 4.4. As for Alcyon Dawn, progress on fixing it seems to be coming along, I guess. We could potentially get it with the 4.4 update. That said, don't hold your breath. DICE are hoping their fixes will work but aren't done testing them out yet. 4.4 is also rumored to include some performance fixes. When it comes to new weapons, the Panzerbuchse 39, Trench Carbine, and Breda M1935PG are still scheduled to unlock during the final 3 weeks of the Current Tides of War storyline. Anyway, that kind of wraps it up for the highlights of Gamescom so far. There have been some other reveals like Need for Speed Heat, NBA 2K20, Kerbal Space Program 2, Erica, which is a live-action title that was announced and released at the same time, and even an RTS game where you control the development of human history called Humankind. Hopefully tomorrow's Battlefield news is worth the wait. As always guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.